tell these folks your name. Emotional. I don't think they heard you, man. Emotional. Who's the best rapper around? Emotional. Who's the new killer in town?
What's going on, YouTube? I'm Emotional, aka your Sultan of Sexy. You know where the best be. It's me, can't you see? I'm fresh and so clean. Nah, mean. What's going on, y'all? We back at it for another reaction video. This is Macklemore and Ryan Lewis featuring Jamila Woods, White Privilege 2. Now, I know y'all requested White Privilege. I hope that this is the one that y'all was talking about because I didn't get no link or nothing like that. And this is the only one that I found that was under his channel. So we about to go ahead and dive straight into it. Like, comment, subscribe. Now, baby, let's vibe. Hit the button. Okay.
To the parking lot, parked it, zipped up my parka, joined the procession of marchers. In my head, like, is this awkward? Should I even be here marching? Thinking that they can't, how can I breathe? Thinking that they chant, what do I sing? I wanna take a stance cause we are not free. And then I thought about it, we are not we. Am I on the outside looking in? Or am I on the inside looking out? Is it my place to get my 2 cents? Or should I stand on the side and shut my mouth? No justice, no peace. Okay, I'm saying that. They're chanting out Black Lives Matter, but I don't say it back. Is it okay for me to say? I don't know, so I watch and stand in front of a line of police that look the same as me, only separated by a badge, a baton, a can, a mace, a mask, a sheet.
If I have my stuff in order, right, it sounds like he's saying, like, can he, I guess, protest with black folks? If I have it right? And if I have my ducks in a row, this is just me personally, you're always gonna have them people that feel like because you don't look like us, you can't protest with us, or they gonna feel a way about it. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I feel like it takes everybody in order for us to really get a point across. It don't matter how you look. I feel like if we're gonna actually get a point across, it takes everybody. At that point, it can't be about how you physically look. It can't be about none of that. It gotta be about what's right and what's wrong. Like, are you standing for what's right or are you standing for what's wrong? Period. I think it's always gonna be, like I said, it's always gonna be them people that's like, you don't know, you ain't been through what I've been through, because that's one of them conversations that I feel like, just like, you know, you ain't been through what I've been through. It's like it's a thing where I've heard it with white folks not understanding black folks who grew up in the hood, and black folks that grew up like in a better situation. You know what I'm saying? And then you got, it's just one of them situations where it's like, it's always gonna be people like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, no, I haven't been through what you've been through, but at the same time, it's like, am I wrong for wanting to stand for what's right because of how I look? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I hope I got my ducks in a row. But it's just, for me personally, I feel like if you're going to stand on the side of what's right, stand on the side of what's right. It is what it is. That's just how I look at it. Let me bring it back.
Looking in, or am I on the inside looking out? Is it my place to get my 2 cents? Or should I stand on the side and shut my mouth? No justice, no peace.
I think that'll be, I feel like if he did, like, if that's, like, that's how he feels. Like, I personally feel like if, how can I explain it? I feel like it'll feel worse if you stand on the sidelines and don't say nothing. Especially depending on the type of person you are. Like, that mess gonna eat you up inside if you don't say something. But also be prepared for folks to not like what you got to say. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, no, one thing that I'm really understanding is, especially in this internet space, no matter what you got to say, no matter what you do, it's always gonna be somebody that don't like what you're doing. It don't matter how much good you're doing. It don't matter how much bad you're doing. It's always gonna be somebody that's gonna have something to say, right? But at the end of the day, they didn't like Jesus. You can't expect them to like you all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, even content creators like Mr. Beast be doing all types of good stuff around the world. You know what I'm saying? Trying to help mankind, and folks still find a reason to say something. So it's like, it don't matter how good you do or how bad you do, whatever. People always gonna have something to say. So it's like, I think I heard Nipsey say it. It's like, what is that thing he said? Something about like, what was it? It was something about like, I'd rather be at war with the world than at war with myself or something like that. It's better to be at war with the world and have peace within yourself than to have peace with the world and at war with yourself. Because at the end of the day, you still gonna have to live with that. You still gonna have to go to sleep with them thoughts in your head. You still gonna have to go to sleep with all that stuff going on in your heart and in your mind. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's always gonna be somebody that don't like what you do. But it's like, I think the problem is folks feel like you can't still love a person or like a person because y'all don't agree on something. You get what I mean? I feel like that's kind of stupid, because it's like, we're all different. We all have our own different opinions. But for me to sit there and tell you, I hate you, I don't like you because of how you feel about a certain subject. You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand that.
Okay, I'm saying that. They're chanting out Black Lives Matter, but I don't say it back. Is it okay for me to say? I don't know, so I watch and stand in front of a line of police that look the same as me, only separated by a badge, a baton, a can, a mace, a mask, a shield, a gun with gloves on hands that gives an alibi in case somebody dies behind a bullet that flies out of their nine, takes another child's life on sight.
Oh, what are you doing, man?
Black Lives Matter. Wow, Black Lives Matter. You should not have done that. Why the police?
What are you doing here?
Shit about it. There you go again. Co-op. Ben, think about it. You've exploited and stolen the music, the moment, the magic, the passion, the fashion you toy with. The culture was never yours to make better. You're Miley, you're Elvis, you're Iggy Azalea. Bacon so plastic, you've heisted the magic. You've taken the drums and the accent you wrapped in your brand of hip-hop is so fascist and backwards. The Grandmaster Flash will go slapping you bastard. All the money that you made off the watered down pop bullshit version of the culture, pal. Go buy a big-ass lawn, go with your big-ass house, get a big-ass fence, keep people out. It's all stolen anyway. Can't you see that now? There's no way for you to even that out. You could join the march, protest, scream and shout. Get on Twitter, hashtag to seem like you're down, but they see through it all. People believe you now. You said publicly.
That's the problem. The problem is when you're doing the protesting and you're doing the culture. What I took from what he was saying, it kind of gave me like, okay, like culture vulture type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you genuinely stand with the cause, cool. If you genuinely love hip hop, cool. But it's like I said in the last video, the Hind, what was it? The Hind Hall, I think it was, or Hind Hall. I hope I said it right. When it come down to just what's, I guess, again, like, what is your reasoning for why you're doing what you're doing? Because, okay, like, I remember when, because I see Mike Brown name on the thing, so it's like, I remember when there were people that were coming out and marching and stuff like that, they were making it known that they were here. They were making it known that they were there for that, right? Why are you making it known for that you were there for that? Why did you feel the need to make it known? And it's not just, it was so many people that look like so many different, you know, so many different skin tones doing it. That's my thing. It's like, if you gonna do something, don't be broadcasting it to try to get clicks and, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how I look at it. That's why, like, when Cole was out there and like protested for the Mike Brown thing, I respected it, because it's like Cole didn't make it known he was here. So that's just how I look at it. Like, Cole wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm protesting and I'm this and I'm that. You ain't even know Cole was out there. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, it's like, what are you doing it for? And it's just like I said in the last video, what don't come out in the wash, come out in the rinse. Meaning, the truth is always gonna come out. It's just, what are you doing it for? What do you gain from it? And what are you pouring out to get back? If you get what I mean. Like, it's gonna come out if you're genuinely a culture vulture or if you actually love the culture. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you love hip hop, if you love R&B, if you love just music as a whole, it's gonna show. If you don't love it, it's gonna show. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. The truth will always come out. The proof is always in the pudding. You know what I'm saying? It's always gonna come out, bro. It's gonna come out. So it's just be real or step down. Step down. Either you gonna step up or step down. It's better for you to step down on your own than for somebody to make you sit down. You see what I'm saying?
Even that longer with your big ass house, get a big ass fence, keep people out. It's all stolen anyway. Can't you see that now? There's no way for you to even that out. You could join the march, protest, scream and shout. Get on Twitter, hashtag, it seem like you're down, but they see through it all. People believe you now. You said publicly, rest in peace, Mike Brown. You speak about equality, but do you really mean it? Are you marching for freedom or when it's convenient? Want people to like you, want to be accepted. That's probably why you are out here protesting. Don't think for a second you don't have incentive. Is this about you? Well, then what's your intention?
I just said that. I just said that. All right, my bad. I'm gonna bring it back.
Testing, don't think for a second you don't have incentive. Is this about you? Well, then what's your intention? What's the intention? What's the intention?
Went in on this. Like, y'all really went in on this.
I totally get it. You're by yourself, and the last thing you want to do is take a picture. But seriously, my little girl loves you. She's always singing, I'm gonna pop some tags. I'm not kidding. My oldest, you even got him to go thrifting. In One Love, oh my God, that song, brilliant. Their aunt is gay. When that song came out, my son told his whole class he was actually proud. That's so cool. Look what you're accomplishing. Even an old mom like me likes it because it's positive. You're the only hip-hop that I let my kids listen to. Because you get it. All that negative stuff, it isn't cool. Yeah? Yeah, like all the guns and the drugs, the bitches and the hoes and the gangs and the thugs, even the protest outside. So sad and so dumb. If a cop pulls you over, it's your fault if you run.
Do folks really still think like that? Like, do folks really think that that's all hip-hop is? Like, that's the majority of what gets promoted, but it's like, you really think that that's all hip hop is guns and violence and thugs and drugs and all the other stuff, like, and women and whatever, or degrading women and whatnot? Is that really all folks think it is? Again, I understand that that's the main thing that you see, but there are definitely other artists that don't move like that. There's a lot of artists that don't even promote stuff like that. But anyway.
So they feel that the police are discriminating against the black people?
I have an advantage. Why? Because I'm white? What? No.
It's like more people like nowadays are just pussies. Like, this is the generation to be offended by everything.
Black Lives Matter thing is a reason to take arms up over perceived slights.
I'm not prejudiced. I just...
99% of the time across this country, the police are doing their job properly.
Damn. A lot of opinions, a lot of confusion, a lot of resentment. Some of us scared, some of us defensive. And most of us aren't even paying attention. It seems like we're more concerned with being called racist than we actually are with racism. I've heard that silence is an action, and God knows that I've been passive. What if I actually read an article, actually had a dialogue, actually looked at myself, actually got involved? If I'm aware of my privilege and do nothing at all? I don't know. Hip-hop has always been political, yes. It's the reason why this music connects. So what the fuck has happened to my voice if I stay silent when black people are dying and I'm trying to be politically correct? I can book a whole tour, sell out the tickets, rap entrepreneur, built his own business. If I'm only in this for my own self-interest, not the culture that gave me a voice to begin with, then this isn't authentic, it is just a gimmick. The DIY underdog, so independent, but the one thing the American dream fails to mention is I was many steps ahead to begin with. skin matches the hero, likeness, the image. America feels safe with my music and their systems in a suit of me perfect. The role I fulfilled it, and if I'm the hero, you know who gets cast as the villain. White supremacy isn't just a white dude in Idaho. White supremacy protects the privilege I hold. White supremacy is the soil, the foundation, the cement, and the flag that flies outside of my home. White supremacy is our country's lineage, designed for us to be indifferent. My success is the product of the same system that let off Darren Wilson guilty. We wanna dress like, walk like, talk like, dance like, yet we just stand by. We take all we want from black culture, but will we show up for black lives? We wanna dress like, walk like, talk like, dance like, yet we just stand by. We take all we want from black culture, but will we show up for black lives?
Black Lives Matter, to use an analogy, is like if there was a subdivision and a house was on fire, the fire department wouldn't show up and start putting water on all the houses because all houses matter. They would show up and they would turn their water on the house that was burning because that's the house that needs the help the most.
My generation's taking on the torch of a very age-old fight for black liberation, but also liberation for everyone. Injustice anywhere is still injustice everywhere.
That's a fact.
The best thing white people can do is talk to each other. Having those very difficult, very painful conversations with your parents, with your family members.
I think one of the critical questions for white people in this society is, what are you willing to risk? What are you willing to sacrifice to create a more just society?
Your silence is a luxury. Hip-hop is not a luxury. Your silence is a luxury. Hip-hop is not a luxury. Your silence is a luxury. Hip-hop is not a luxury.
Whose voice is that? Is that like, is that something that they put in the beat, or is that like a sample or something, or what? Also, before I forget, when it comes to like the whole like white privilege thing and whatnot, how can I explain it? It's a very like, how can I explain it? I want to make sure I say this the way that I really need to say it. I guess like when I think about it now, it's kind of like, why is it even necessary? If you get what I mean. Because I'm like, I look at it from the standpoint of like, kind of like what they say this country is like built on, you know what I'm saying? Land of the free, home of the brave. But it's like the more things that I get exposed to, it's like, I really start to see like, it's more so land of the fearful, home of the oppressed, if that's the right word. Home of the, I want to say enslaved too, because it's like, but also even when I go to work too, and I see a lot of like the people that's like homeless and stuff like that, it kind of makes me wonder like, how far does the white privilege thing go? But also it's like everybody's situation is different. So it's kind of a lot of things that I'm just kind of learning from just kind of looking outside and just watching people and looking at like, seeing all the people going through their own different things and whatnot. And as far as I go, like, I do feel like it does exist. I do feel like it does exist. It's just one of them things though, for me as a person, I just don't use it as, because I'm obviously I'm black, but like I don't view it as a reason to be like, I'm not gonna be successful because all these other people have this specific thing and I don't have it. Like, I just don't agree with like when people try to use it as an excuse to not try to work. You know what I'm saying? Because I can honestly say that there are some black folks that will say like, oh, like they got white privilege, I'm this and I'm that, and use it as a crutch to not work, to not try to build something for themselves. You know what I'm saying? I personally would like, I'm not going to use that, even though I know it exists. I believe in something bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just be honest. I trust in Jesus. That's my Lord and Savior. And I know that God not going to just leave me out here to struggle and look stupid. You know what I'm saying? Even in the midst of everything that's going on, even in the midst of the white privilege thing and just racism and all this other stuff, I'm not gonna let what society I'm not gonna let what society tries to do or create be a reason that I don't succeed in my life, that I use it as an excuse to not do anything. I understand it exists, but at the same time, I'm not gonna use it as a thing to be like, oh, you got that, so that's the only reason I'm failing. That's why I didn't get that job. That's why I didn't get that job. It's something out there for me. There's always something out there for me. And honestly, I also treat it like maybe I dodged a bullet by not getting that job, or maybe getting that job, or what have you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I trust God more than I trust society, because people are always going to let me down. People are always going to let me down at some point. Not saying it as like a way to be like, what's the word I'm looking for? Negative. But it's like, I'm just not going to use that as a reason to stay down. Because I'm like, I have so many things that's going for me, and it's like, I'm just not gonna let that be a reason that I don't get anywhere in my life. Like, I'm not gonna let what I've seen a lot of people do or talk about, like with reparations and stuff like that. Like, I'm just not that type of person. That's just not where I'm at. And like, I've been through my own personal thing with just being bullied by folks, getting made fun of because of my heritage and stuff like that by black folks. And I had to learn to forgive in that aspect. And it's just like, when it comes to a lot of these different things, for me personally, I'm at a space in my life where it's about the content of your character in my book. It's about you as a person. Like, who are you as a person? Forget your skin, forget all of that. It's more so about you as a person and how do you treat me? You see what I'm saying? Like, I understand that this stuff exists. I understand what's going on, but I'm not going to let it hold me back. I'm just not built like that. I'm not wired like that. My family didn't wire me like that. Like the people I have around me, they don't think like that. So it's like, because again, it's like, we know it exists, but it's like, that's not going to stop me from doing what I'm doing. It's not going to stop me from getting where I need to go. It's like, I'm going to bless the people that I'm going to bless. I'm not gonna, if I don't reach a certain level of certain things, that's fine. But I'm gonna bless those who are gonna be blessed by what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I understand that everybody not gonna like what I'm saying, but it's just an interesting subject though. Like, I really think that it should be a situation that does get addressed, but it shouldn't be the thing that, it shouldn't be a crutch or it shouldn't be an excuse. You see what I'm saying?
Having those very difficult, very painful conversations with your parents, with your family members.
I think one of the critical questions for white people in this society is, what are you willing to risk? What are you willing to sacrifice to create a more just society?
Your silence is a luxury. Hip-hop is not a luxury. Your silence is a luxury. Hip-hop is not a luxury. Your silence is a luxury. Hip-hop is not a luxury. Your silence is a luxury. Hip-hop is not a luxury. What I got for me, it is for me. What we made to set us free. What I got for me, it is for me. What we made to set us free. What I got for me, it is for me. What we made to set us free.
I want to go back to a line she said. Hold on.
What we made to set us free. What I got for me, it is for me.
That. What I got that's for me is for me. Like, people can preach this all day. Folks can be like, oh, you got this, you got that. And it's like, okay, well, what we gonna do? Are we not gonna work to still be successful. You see what I'm saying? It's too many people that have come and risked their lives and died for us to just sit on the sidelines and I guess use it as an excuse. It's one thing to make it a conversation thing to go against it, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like there are people that will try to guilt trip you into feeling bad. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, one thing also that I understand is everybody that's white is not out here trying to hurt me. I understand that. They're all not working against me. They're not conspiring against me. They're not trying to disrespect me. They're not trying to steal from me. They're not trying to do all that. Because I've met some really good people. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, when it comes to like the whole like skin thing, it's like, folks is gonna do wrong regardless of what you got going on or how you look. You see what I'm saying? It's like, I just care about the content of your character, because ultimately what's for me is for me. It don't matter who try to hold up a door. It don't matter who tried to block it off or what have you. What's for me is for me, and you can't stop that. You can't. You can't stop that. You just can't do it, bro. You can't do it. I don't care who you are. It's levels to it, bro. It's certain things that you just can't prevent. It's certain things that you just can't prevent. And it's like, it don't matter how wealthy you are. It don't matter how much power, political power, all this other stuff that you got. Because when you get done with everything that you got going on, you still got to answer for it. You still got to answer for it. So it's like, folks can talk about this all day. We can talk about it. But at the end of the day, for me personally, what's for me is for me. And that line was real. That line was real. Because again, what is for me is for me. Period. And what's for you is for you. It's just a matter of, are you going to go strictly off the system, or are you going to go off something else? Because the system is already messed up. We already know that. We've talked about that several times. The system is messed up. It's like it's like the hearts of the people got to change for any of this to change. The hearts of the people got to change. But also at the same time, we can't change the world unless we change ourselves. So how many of us are actually willing to change for this to stop? And it does include speaking. But at the same time, it's like, what's for me is for me, dog. What's for me is for me. This is cool. I get it. But at the end of the day, what's for me is for me. I'm going to get what's for me. It is what it is. I don't care how I look. You know what I'm saying? I could be green, purple, black, white, whatever. What's for me is for me. It is what it is. That's just how I look at it. Call me crazy, but hey, say what you want. But that's just how I look at it. But honestly, I respect the fact that he even made this, because it's very creatively done. It's very well done. You know what I'm saying? I would have loved to see a video for it. But I didn't know he had this type of stuff in his bag, though. Because like I said, I'm still learning about Macklemore, right? Because I didn't know he was on this. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know he had all this going on. You know what I'm saying? Bro is really creative. I never gave his music a shot, because I only went off of like the songs that they talked about in the song Thrift, and it was another one I can't remember. But the singles, like the really, really big singles. And it's like, dog, I didn't know you was this political. I didn't know you had all this stuff going on. I didn't know you even talked about this type of stuff. So shout out to bro. Like, really shout out to bro, because I feel like by you addressing this, it shows you not standing on the sidelines. And again, it's like, it's ultimately about, what are you trying to do? But also at the same time, you can have good intentions and bad execution. But I don't think that this was bad intention or bad execution. I think it was just you being real and being honest about how you view things and where you're at a certain point in your life. But it's like, I respect the fact that bro is actually willing to be honest about what he actually thinks, or how he actually thinks, and where he's at. You know what I'm saying? You got my respect, dog. GTA respect just went up, baby. You know what I'm saying? But I'm finna get out of here, y'all. Peace easy, baby. Lay out.